Welcome back to the Shankly Sessions, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week on the Dynamo Podcast Network. Head over to YouTube, smash that subscribe and bell notification button. And as always, if you're over there, drop a like on all the videos, show your appreciation. Joining me tonight for a preview, Liverpool versus Burnley, a game that a lot of Liverpool fans have been waiting for with bated breath. Safe to say, Craig, we owe these guys a bit of a number on Saturday, yeah?
Yeah, I think regardless of who was coming, back to the Anfield bleeding cauldron, but more so Sean Dyche and Burnley, more
Yeah.
than anyone else, really. I think teams have last season, especially not making any excuses, but Anfield was forgotten. It was pretty level playing field for everybody, really. But the noise on a normal, league game, but this is going to be much more than that. This is going to be more than Champions League final. This is going to be electric, to
Yeah, it's
say the
safe to
least.
say. It's going to be interesting as well, isn't it? Because a number of players there, the likes of Jota and Thiago, they haven't felt that full Anfield, really. You know what I mean?
It
So
give
this
you
is going
it
to be
gives you
their
another
first time.
level, I'd say, in your performance
Mm,
easily.
yeah,
And they feeling that when things aren't going your way, and that kind of spurring you on, that can maybe change something or keep you going massively.
yeah, absolutely. And no doubt Klopp will have the boys fired up as well because he's a bit of a point to prove after that bit of a row he had with Dyche.
Well, he has a point against Sean Dyche as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm also thinking they're unveiling a new mosaic on the Cop this week. It's the new 97 with the flames. So they were getting
He's
volunteers
very,
in to
very,
set
very
them up.
welcome. It's part of the furniture now.
Yeah.
Andrew is as equal as the rest of them, and our thoughts and prayers, obviously, with his family, and hope the lads can, greet the mosaic with a great performance and result for Andrew and everybody
Yeah,
else.
I'm sure when they walk out and they see the Cop putting that up, they'll be fired up for the game, you know.
If that
Um,
doesn't get you fired up,
what would,
something
you
is
know,
wrong.
absolutely. Let's go through the head to head. Liverpool 10 wins, Burnley 2 and 2 draws. Very,
Yeah,
very lopsided, really.
like the odd time Burnley frustrate us. Last season they had that where we were against like anybody we played last season at Anfield. We just couldn't. You know, it was nearly like a foregone conclusion. We go a goal down and we're like, right, what's going on? We don't know what we're doing. Injuries didn't help. Not an excuse, but no fans. We were just lost in ourselves, I think. And then, as you said, you know, we kind of threw Thiago into the mixer as well, to try and get something out of him. And he was coming back from COVID and an injury as well. And everything was a bit disconjointed. And at that time of the season, Burnley they seem to have that bit of escape, don't they? They always seem to kind of pull something out of the bag
Yeah.
when it's needed.
Mm. Yeah, certainly. They took advantage last season, really, of the bigger clubs in terms of not having fans
Yeah.
there and stuff like that. So,
Like they went there fully convinced that they could win the game.
mm, yeah, absolutely. Let's have a look at the predicted 11s. We'll start with Burnley, of course. Pope and goals, Loughton at the back, Tarkovsky, May, Taylor. Reasonably solid back line there. Midfield, Goodmanson, Westwood, Cork, McNeil, and then up front, Wood and Rodriguez. What you thinking on that?
It's your classic 4-4-2, isn't it? Like, your old school route one. I will say this actually. I actually kind of keep my eye as well. I think Dwight McNeil is a pretty good footballer, to be fair to him. I've had my eye on him, and he's not really a usual Burnley type. I think he played against us, and he's very direct. He likes to dribble.
Mm,
He likes to kind of mix his crosses up, mix his play up, and he's not afraid to get on the ball. When you think of Burnley, you're just thinking of set pieces. You're thinking a long ball route one up there, the likes of Wood and Barnes, is it? Up from
Rodriguez.
Rodriguez,
Mm,
more of a ball style, more of a ball player, isn't he? Jay Rodriguez is
mm,
a player as well, but you'd be probably thinking the ball be coming down to Wood, where he'll hold up for Rodriguez, and the back line is tried and trusted for Burnley. You're getting 100% out of those lads nearly every week, regardless of the quality. Goalkeeper, very off season for him last season. One of the highly rated keepers he was playing in. Last season he was a bit, I don't know what it was. I think Tarkovsky's a stalwart as well. In the back line, very good, very solid. I fancy go into it, talk about our predicted lineup, and then we'll throw it
yeah,
together then.
absolutely. Yeah, I look at it. I mean, Wood is very dangerous, obviously, especially off a set piece. Like he's very
Yeah,
good aerial
a
wise.
good finisher as
And
well. Like,
Tarkovsky as well. pitches in with the goals from set pieces as well. So they would be the two dangers. And of course, Westwood breaking from midfield can be
Yeah,
dangerous as well. So like the
McNeil.
blend there, and also me as well, often pops up on a set piece to ping a goal and stuff. That Pope, as we know, very good goalkeeper.
Yeah, overall.
If we look at our own lineup, then of course, Allison, Simicus, Van Dijk, Matip, Alexander Arnold, Milner, Fabinho, Keita, Mane, Jota, Salah. That's the predicted
Now,
one that they're going with at the moment.
just to see what you think as well. I think this game doesn't suit Firmino because Burnley are going to pack numbers back. And if he keeps dropping deep to receive the ball, we're losing a body up there in this trying to get space in the high line. Whereas if we have the likes of Jota, Mane, and Salah interchanging and pulling Burnley around a bit, which I think is going to be vital for Kai to play as well. I would have liked to see Thiago as well, intricate passing between the lines, put Burnley open. But I'm hoping Koita can do that. I believe that, hopefully he can go on from his first good game, which he deserves another starting lineup, in my opinion. Fabinho can play a ball himself. I just think if we can get at Burnley early, the floodgates might open. Like if we can really hurt them fast, it's the game when it's longer. Burnley a 70, 60 minutes, and they're like, just putting numbers back. Firmino drops in to receive the ball, and they're happy to let him go and get it. I think with Jota, Mane, and Salah, we won't really see that. I think they'll be staying right up and pulling them apart, hopefully, for space.
Hmm. Yeah, I think it's safe to say, obviously Burnley will play that kind of low block and stuff like that and try to, keep us at bay and stuff like that. I was kind of going up against Burnley. I was thinking this might be a game that will suit Ox because he tends to come from deep, which means he'd have a lot of opportunities potentially from that distance. But I mean, he hadn't got a great outing last week. Didn't do a whole lot wrong.
If he had a great outing last week, I'd put his name in contention. But I've gone for, I know Milner's going to be in there for the physicality you're going to get with Burnley. But Thiago and Koita, we haven't really seen or experienced that. And it'd be nice to see how they kind of interchange and quick passing and forward passing, which is most important as well. Back line, Simicas couldn't fault them last week, made one mistake or one error. Look, it happens. You get on with it. Matip and Van Dijk will know what's going on with the physicality that they're up against with Wood and that. So I'm happy enough with that. How do you feel about the forward line and penetrating Burnley, the low block stuff as well?
Yeah, I think what we'll have to do is we'll have to wait and see how it unfolds because he's going to go with two banks of four.
Yeah.
So it's gonna require maybe the cleverness of Keita. But I don't know. I'm just wondering if that's the way he's going to set up. With Milner in there and Fabinho, it's quite defensive.
We don't need to be.
Yeah,
you don't need to be like.
Yeah, so I was thinking that's why I was considering kind of Ox staying in there, to give us that bit of forward.
Like in the pocket.
Yeah. But
like Rodriguez will drop. Rodriguez is gonna drop, yourself into a 5-man, and Wood will be up there at some stage as well,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I just think that might have been the option. The only thing it does do is if the game unfolds into one of those difficult low block games, we do have good options off the bench there to kind of change it up a little bit. So I think at some stage we'll definitely see Bobby. I think at some stage we may see Ox or Thiago or a mixture of a few, I think Trent on the set pieces is going to be vital. I think he will get a lot of opportunities because the one thing Burnley does, they do give away a lot of fouls just outside that 18-yard box and stuff like that. So I would expect Trent to get a number of opportunities in this game as well.
But we have Matip and Virgil, there for.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's how I kind of see it unfolding. I think Burnley will come to try and upset the party. Early kickoff, of course, 12:30 Saturday morning, and BT is the coverage. So just to put that in there as well. Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting one. I mean, always when we come up against these teams that we think we would just blow them away, it tends to be kind of a little bit sort of cagey. And I think what happens with us at times is when we get into these cagey kind of matches, time goes by in the match very quickly. And before you know, you could be at 60 minutes and it could be 0-0. And then all of a sudden it's panic, So it's important that the guys go out, and impress themselves on the game, and put themselves out there and, try and get an early goal and stuff like that to settle the game. Maybe to draw
I think
Burnley
if
out.
we get an early goal, Burnley could be in for a long day. They'll have no other option but to come out, but shoot us down to the ground. They'll have to push for numbers forward, and we can exploit in behind. But I'm going to be completely honest. I'm going to go. I think we could do another notch. I think I'm going to go 3-0 again. I'm going to mirror the first game. I think the fans, you know, when they feel that at Anfield, obviously it was great support at Norwich, but being the first game home after so long with everyone there, the Mosaic as well, which is amazing. They'll go in for the first game. And I just think coming off a good result and a good clean sheet, as well. I'm gonna go 3-0 Liverpool.
I'm thinking the same. I'm thinking 3-0. Who are you thinking gets the goals?
Yeah. Oh god, I'm gonna go Mo definitely for one. I'm gonna go Mo for one. I'm gonna give Virgil one from a set piece, and I'm
Heather.
going to I'm gonna give Mane. I'm gonna give Mane one this game. See if he can get. But I think, as you said as well, Burnley like to be strong in attack. They'll give away fouls on the edge of the D or the outside of the wide box. I think Virgil, after being so long out, would be such a romance for him to pop up with a goal and be great in front of the Anfield faithful. So, but I'm gonna go 3-0 as well. What do you think?
I'm going 3-0, but I have a very different 3-0. I'm not saying
Yeah,
any of our front men scoring.
the lads at the back.
No, I'll tell you what I'm saying. I'm saying Salah winning a penalty, Milner scoring a penalty, Trent with a free kick, and Van Dijk with a header off a cross or a set piece. That's
Yes.
that's that's what I'm saying. Because I know sometimes I've seen in the past when we do play that low block, our three guys up front don't always get any joy, and the goals
They
tend to
go
have to
very
come somewhere else.
wide and into dead ends, get
Yeah.
frustrated and stuff.
Yeah, those games that we tend to play in tend to be one of those kind of set piece moments or something like that, or the way Henderson sometimes pops up with a goal or something different. Maybe it's time for Keita to step up and get off the mark
It'd be
properly.
great for him.
Yeah,
Build and
yeah,
I think actually what's very important in this game, which could be very good for ammunition, is Simicas's delivery is very good.
mm,
We've seen that in pre-season. He has a very good left foot.
yeah.
That could be, something we need from the left as well as obviously
Mm.
Fred on the right.
I think that might be the way to go, but only maybe off a set piece. I think if
Yeah.
himself and Trent are launching balls into the box, with all due
Oh, we
respect,
seen it last season.
yeah,
Remember?
with all due respect to our boys, I think me and Tarkovsky and lads like that probably have the making of Mane, Jota, and Salah in the air from those. So
You're feeding them, yeah.
So I think we're better off. I think we're better off going slightly different and maybe not attacking down the wings as much, maybe, or if we are going to attack down the wings, that we beat that player and then we cut back in, and we're feeding the ball in, not so much crossing it in, because it has to be pitch point perfect
Or
to
if
beat the
we
likes of
have,
Mayor
say,
Tarkovsky.
if Fabinho or Milner, whichever sits, one of them, we don't need the two of them sitting, and like let Koita have the free role where he can maybe play through the lines, which is why I would have liked to see Thiago, Koita, and Fabinho, as in Fabinho just say to the lads, I'm all right here, and them two kind of try play 4 balls maybe from either side inside midfield.
Yeah, I think for a match like this, these type of matches that we come up against in the season, we just have to find a very different way of winning, if you like. It's not the usual
you have
slick
to, yeah.
down the wings. You have to find a different way of doing it in terms of like pressurizing these guys, trying to draw them out, hanging on to the ball. To control the match as much as you can. You know what I mean? And try and make them draw out. Try and get them to play a little bit. It's no easy feat as well beating Pope between the six either. He's a very good goalkeeper.
No, he's on his day, like. Yeah, he's a very good keeper.
So I think we could say a win on Saturday. I think 3-0, but I think it'll be a very different win. It won't be the usual Mane, Jota, Salah, Firmino kind of combination. I think it could come from somewhere else. I think Salah will do the work and Mane will do the work that they need to do. Maybe to draw a penalty or draw a foul in the box. But then obviously if Jimmy's on the pitch, Jimmy's the man taking the penalties because he just never misses them.
Mr. Consistent, Mr. Reliable.
Absolutely. So that's kind of how I see it panning out. It's a different kind of way. The onus is on us. We're at home, so we have to go dictate the play. But yeah,
if we win,
Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, go on.
No, go on.
If we win and get another clean sheet, you know, we kind of have to do that. You would say nearly with competition around us. You know,
Yeah.
Man City have lost obviously to Tottenham. We probably didn't expect that. Now respect to Tottenham.
Mm.
You know, Man United, good win, good goal difference. Chelsea, good win, good goal difference. Would expect no disrespect to Palace. We did our job, but now it's another week and it has to be done all over again. You
Mm.
know, that's the way it is. You know.
Yeah, and I think Klopp is clever enough to know that the boys last week gets put behind and it's week. That's how he does it. He's very clever that way doing it. He doesn't let the boys get too far ahead.
Do
And
you feel we might get less chances against Burnley, which we will have to take, unlike the Norwich game where we were like, we're all right. There's going to be a goal coming anyway.
I wouldn't say less chances. I'd say different chances.
Yeah.
I'd say, as you said, you'll have to play between the lines. Thiago's passing would be vital then. So we may see him a half timer, 50, 60 minutes in. If we're not getting much joy, we'll have to change it up and we'll have to bring attacking force on. And that's when you might see the likes of Vox and Thiago and more attacking force, because I think this will be mainly about Burnley defending as opposed to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? The likes of Van Dijk and Matip really did. For me, what I can see anyway, I assume they'll be on deck chairs most of the day. Burnley will be playing two banks of four on that 18-yard line. We won't get much joy in terms of, unless the trickery of Jota, Mane, and Salah can link up in such a way to unlock it. But it's so hard when you're doing that with three guys against eight players. You know what I mean? It'll be squeezed in there. Dyche will have them nice and tight. There won't be much room to move around. Pope very aggressive off his line as well. You know what I mean? So even if you spray balls ahead and you're trying to run on them, Pope's off his line like a shot. You know what I mean? He doesn't give you much space. So I just think it'll be a different way of going about a business. I still expect us to create a load of chances, but I think the chances and the pattern of the game will be slightly different to what we've seen against Norwich, who kind of play a bit more football, if you like,
Yeah.
probably to their detriment.
Yeah.
But we know what we're getting with Burnley. Burnley, they just put up a barricade, you know what I mean? And then they try to hit you on the break with something off, try and win a set piece and give you something for Chris Woods or Westwood or Tarkovsky or me or something to get on the end of, you know what I mean?
It'd be great to win the early kickoff on it. I know it's only week 2, but you know, people would still have to take it seriously as right, Liverpool with our 3 points on the board. People do see it, other teams, might they are doing their own business. They do now, yourself.
Yeah, you're definitely laying down a marker if you can do that, because you got 6 points on the board, as you said. Hopefully, a clean sheet, another couple of goals, so your goal difference is increasing all the time and all. And these kind of games and points, these are vital at the start of the season, because I think the following week with Chelsea, I think.
There you go.
Yeah, so
if you're stuttering ahead of the top contender, top rival, it's like Jesus. Well, these are the points you have to make anyway. Go into that game where, if it comes to it, a draw, and you're looking behind you and saying, well, we 6 points and then a draw might be the end, might be the worst thing in the world. You're going into it, they'll all break them down. Or we have Chelsea, draw or lose the game, they're like, could have come with them 3 points as well at Burnley, that kind of.
Yeah, and especially with Chelsea playing Arsenal, that's a big enough game as well. You'd expect Chelsea to do the business, but you never know. Like, Arsenal could come out firing on all cylinders. Sometimes they surprise you with some of the results, But you never know if the pressure's on there. They're looking at the table. We're on 6 points. You're laying down a marker. I know it's early in season, first couple of games, but still, it sets the scene for what's ahead. You know what I mean? And that's what's really, really important.
Everyone's happy if you're winning.
Absolutely. And everyone else is looking up at you. You know what I mean? So, yeah, just to go through the betting odds, just quickly run through the betting odds. Liverpool to win 2-9 on, obviously. Burnley to win 18-1. And the draw is 7-1. So very one-sided for us. I think the bookies are getting it right here with the odds. I don't think there's any value in this at all, unless
-2, I would say, if you're handicap betting.
Yeah.
If you wanted to,
Yeah, it's one that I looked at. I mean, we are going to be doing tomorrow that beat the bookie show. But I don't think there'll be a lot of Liverpool bets coming in, because this is very lopsided and trying to earn a few bob unless
you'd be really pushing against the tide to kind of find a market for this game. Put a bet on, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, anyway, this has been your Liverpool versus Burnley preview. Craig, appreciate you coming on. Obviously on the
Cheers.
Shankly Sessions on the Dynamo Podcast Network on YouTube, audio versions of the show, Podbean, Spotify, Apple iTunes, wherever you pick up audio version show, you will find us there. Drop your comments down below in the episode. Let us know what you think, what your predicted score is for the game. Let us know your thoughts on the game. As always, if you want to contact us, we're on Facebook, The Upper Tier, or you'll get us on Twitter at Sessions Shankly. Craig, a pleasure as always, my man.
Cheers, lad.